Buenas tardes, clase. Today we're going to learn about expressing feelings, particularly with the verb estar and with adjectives. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, let's really quickly review the verb estar, which you know means to be. We're going to put up the conjugations here. Estoy, yo estoy, tú estás, él, ella, usted está, nosotros estamos. This one isn't used often, but vosotros estáis and ellos or ustedes están. Right? So there we have the chart. We also need to remember some of the adjective rules. Okay? So this is really important. Remember that with adjectives, they must agree in both gender and number of the nouns they describe. Okay? They must agree in both gender and number of the nouns they describe. So before we saw, whoa, that is not what I meant to do. There we go. Before we saw it like this. Un chico alto. Or los estudiantes inteligentes. Right? You remember this with adjectives. Alto ends with an O, is masculine and singular because chico is masculine and singular. Inteligentes is masculine and plural because estudiantes is masculine and plural. Okay, so when we use this for expressing feelings, it's got to be the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and teach you a lot of these feelings, and then you're going to be able to describe how you're doing or how someone else is doing a lot easier, okay? So let's look at some of these words first. First we have alegre. Alegre means happy. Next we have cansado. This could also be cansada. This one I have a feeling you guys are going to use quite a bit. It means tired. Alegre, cansado. Then we have contento or contenta, which means content or pleased. Our fourth word for today, hopefully you never have to use, deprimido or deprimida, means depressed. Next, we have emocionado or emocionada, which means excited. All right. We have enfermo or enferma, which means sick. Then we have enojado or enojada, which means angry. We have nervioso or nerviosa, which you can probably guess means nervous. Four more. Ocupado or ocupada means busy, which should be easy to remember because it kind of looks like the word occupied, which is like busy. Ocupado. We have a similar word, preocupado. Preocupado or preocupada means worried. Two more. Tranquilo which looks a lot like the word tranquil. Tranquilo or tranquila means calm. And finally, por fin, we have triste. And triste means sad. Now for all of these feeling words, as you can see, most of them can end with an O or an A. A couple of them just end with E, like alegre and triste, the first one and the last one. But all of them can also have an S added to the end of it if you were matching the number of people that you were talking about. All right, so let's look at a couple of examples of these. If I had a person that says, ¿Cómo estás? This is person 1. And person 2 would answer back, Estoy cansado. ¿Y tú? Person 1 might say, Estoy ocupado, pero alegre. What is this conversation saying? Well, person 1 up here, ¿Cómo estás? You know that means how are you, right? So person 2 is answering, Estoy cansado. That means I'm tired. And you? All right. Now from this, we can tell that the person must be a boy because he is answering with a masculine adjective. Then person 1 answers back, Estoy ocupado. So again, we know it's a boy because he's answering with a masculine adjective. I am busy, pero means but, alegre. I am busy, but what? I am busy, but happy. All right? So these are verbs then that you could use to express feeling of you or someone else. Pretty easy stuff. Let's look at a couple more examples. Let's see. Person 1 says, ¿Cómo está tu madre? ¿Cómo está tu madre? Well, this would be a question that some people get often. How is your mother? Right? And then person 2 might say, Ella está let's see, enferma. Ella está enferma. Why do we use enferma instead of enfermo? Well, because remember, we're talking about she, which is referring back to the mother. Okay, so enferma would be the correct one. And then what if they say, Ella está enferma? And then asked back, ¿Cómo están tus padres? So instead of just saying, how's your mother? She's asking back, how are your parents? Person 1 could answer, ellos están, what do you want them to be? How about contentos? Okay, now again, remember we have this down here as plural because it's referring to the parents or the ellos, same thing. Ellos están contentos. And then likewise, we need to remember that our verbs here have got to match. So how is your mother? Well, is for a girl would be está for she. But for they, your parents, would be están. All right, so we got to make sure that we are following along correctly there with the verb conjugation. So now you have a lot more answers when I ask you how you're doing at the beginning of each day. So try really hard to remember these words, work on memorizing them so that you can increase your vocab. And hasta mañana.